You've got exactly 15 seconds to stop a sports fan from scrolling right past you. Think about it. They already know the score, right? They know who won. So if you're just going to sit there and repeat the box score, well, you've already lost them. In this explainer, we're breaking down a highly specific, highly effective framework. The Professional Sports Analysis Scripting Blueprint. This is literally the exact formula for transforming raw sports data into a dynamic, engaging, and super professional breakdown. No fluff, no wasted words, just pure, tightly structured analysis.
One decision, 2 seconds left, and it changed the entire season. Man, you can feel the weight of that, right? That right there is a hook. It's dramatic, it's punchy, and it immediately creates this gap in your knowledge that your brain desperately wants to fill. I mean, which decision? Who made it? The blueprint we're looking at today demands that you grab the viewer's attention in those critical first 15 to 20 seconds. If you can master this exact type of delivery, you dictate the pacing from the very first frame.
Now notice the stark contrast here. We all know the modern sports media landscape is just saturated with overhyped clickbait, screaming titles, exaggerated claims, and frankly, empty content. But our source material outlines a completely different path. The goal here is a smart, no-fluff breakdown. It's about being professional, crystal clear, and remarkably easy to understand. But most importantly, it's about building your entire script around one meaningful lesson. Your audience should walk away feeling smarter, not tricked.
Okay, let's look at the game plan for this explainer. 1. The sports script blueprint. 2. Crafting the opening hook. 3. Summarizing what happened quickly. 4. Analyzing the key moment. 5. Delivering the core lesson. And finally, 6. The outro and next steps.
All right, starting us off with Section 1, the Sports Script Blueprint, the anatomy of a video breakdown.
So the overarching philosophy of this blueprint is that your script absolutely must be engaging, but entirely void of artificial hype. You're just using 2 to 3 really well-placed hooks. As you can see, the framework is built on 5 exact steps. Step 1, the opening. Step 2, what happened. Step 3, the key moment. Step 4, the lesson. And Step 5, the outro. This isn't just some random list, it's like a psychological funnel. It takes the viewer logically from the shock of that first second, grounds them in the context, zooms in on your expert analysis, extracts the real value, and then smoothly guides them right to the final call to action.
Notice how this builds an incredibly rigid timeline. 20 seconds for the opening. By 50 seconds, you've completely explained what happened. By 110 seconds, you're done analyzing the key moment. By 140 seconds, you've delivered the lesson. And boom, at 155 seconds, you are out. These 5 components lock together chronologically to create a super tight, roughly 2.5-minute professional video script. Honestly, if you're wandering off on a tangent, you're breaking the blueprint. Every single second is accounted for. Okay, let's dive into Section 2, crafting the opening hook and winning those first 15 to 20 seconds.
Listen, this is where the battle for audience retention is won or lost. You have a microscopic window to prove your analysis is actually worth their time. The blueprint gives you 4 specific tactical choices for this opening strike. You could use a surprising stat that totally defies expectations. You could ask a provocative question that challenges conventional wisdom. You can make a bold, definitive statement. Or you can just drop them right into a dramatic moment from the event itself. Whichever route you choose, it's got to be a single, strong hook that makes the story instantly interesting. Absolutely no rambling setups allowed.
So here is the absolutely crucial point. Do not greet the audience. Jump straight in. This is the cardinal rule of the modern opening. Nobody wants to hear, "Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at..." By the time you finish that sentence, they've already swiped away. You really have to respect the viewer's time by launching directly into the substance of the story.
Moving right along to Section 3, summarizing what happened quickly, the 20 to 30-second setup. Once you've hooked them, you've got to transition smoothly into the core context of the event. But remember, you're not a news anchor reading a recap here. You have a maximum of 2 to 3 crisp lines to summarize the core event. Literally, that is it, 3 lines. You must ruthlessly edit this section to cover only what the viewer absolutely needs to know to understand the analysis that's about to follow. Keep it tight, keep it professional. Just give them the foundation and then immediately move on to the real reason they're watching in the first place.
All right, Section 4, analyzing the key moment, zooming in for 30 to 60 seconds. Now, this is where you zoom in on the single most important play, decision, or turning point, and you completely stop recounting facts. To keep the audience glued to the screen during this deeper dive, the source material introduces a totally brilliant concept, the curiosity hook. This is a strategically inserted phrase used right in the middle of the main body. Its whole purpose is to suddenly re-engage the viewer by promising to reveal something hidden, what casual fans completely missed, or the invisible setup that happened right before the main action. It perfectly bridges the gap between what happened and why it actually mattered.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how a curiosity hook sounds in practice. The real genius wasn't the goal, it was what happened 3 seconds before. When a viewer hears that, their entire perspective is instantly reframed. They stop looking at the obvious outcome, the goal, and they lean in, eager to see the invisible tactical setup you're about to expose. It establishes you as the expert who sees exactly what everyone else misses.
Because this is a video scripting blueprint, the structural delivery notes are just as important as the actual words. You've got to remember to mark your B-roll or text suggestions in your script right alongside your analysis. For example, literally typing out something like "show replay at 12 seconds" right there in the text. The visual evidence has to perfectly sync up with your spoken analysis.
Bringing us to Section 5, delivering the core lesson, the 20 to 30-second takeaway.
In this specific window, your role totally shifts from tactical analyst to educator. The ultimate goal of the entire breakdown is to turn the analysis into one clear, highly useful lesson. Why does this play matter beyond just the scoreboard? You need to explain how this applies to the sport itself as a broader concept, or maybe connected to a universal principle like mindset, intense preparation, or flawless teamwork. Give the viewer a piece of knowledge they can actually carry with them.
To seamlessly frame that lesson, the blueprint provides another optional, really small hook. If you take one thing from this match, let it be this. It's essentially a verbal highlighter. It tells the audience, hey, pay attention. This is the thesis statement of the entire breakdown. It focuses their minds perfectly on the core takeaway you're about to drop on them.
And finally, Section 6, the outro and next steps. Finishing the final 10 to 15 seconds.
The main job here is to seamlessly close out the video without letting the energy drop off. There are 3 specific tactical moves required to pull this off perfectly. First, loop back to your opening idea to create a really satisfying, closed circle of narrative. Second, tease a related future topic to build up some anticipation. And third, end with a simple, direct call to action, like asking them to subscribe or comment.
Here is exactly how the blueprint suggests you tease that future topic effectively. And next time, we're breaking down the one player who quietly dominated the whole weekend. Notice how it deliberately doesn't give away the player's name? It creates another curiosity gap right at the very end of the video, which guarantees that the viewer is actively looking forward to your next upload.
So you really have to ask yourself, will your next video just recount the game, reading off stats that literally everyone already knows? Or will you apply this no-fluff playbook, cut out the noise, and break down the one defining decision that changed absolutely everything? The blueprint is ready. The execution is entirely up to you.